Well, hello there, YouTube, and welcome to Monday, the 28th of November. Man, 26 degrees. It's like 30, 31 now. The sun's nice and bright. I guess it's supposed to be pretty nice today. But she's a little foggy at the moment. But that should all clear off and it should get pretty. Look at all them blue skies. Man. Love that crisp, cool feeling of the mornings. One of my favorite things about the fall and winter is these cool mornings. God goes, no, you can't stand that cold. I go, man, I absolutely love it. Whether it be cold and hot. All right, let's bounce. And welcome to a new week. Woo, that highway between the house down here in GC. She was frozen. Just put her in that real soft snow mode. And she's very gentle. People ended up behind a little SUV, a little Subaru, and everybody was being very careful, which was nice. Man, is it beautiful out here right now. Holy moly. Woo! It says it's 37 where it is here. That's good. We still have black ice up to 37. Nice, love that sound of the idling semi-trucks and stuff. All right. Holy moly, mama.
It is pretty.
It is gorgeous out here. Everything's wet.
But it's pretty blue.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice. 42 degrees here in Vanchulo.
Mm-hmm.
That Monday came back around.
I know.
It does it every week.
Hide, but
yeah. You can just skip the Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
Mondays, nothing with Mondays. It's just a reminder that you got another week ahead of you.
Yep, exactly.
All righty, Mom. Well, have yourself a wonderful Monday.
You too, Huggy.
Well, see you as the day goes on.
All right.
All right. Love you. See you. Bye.
I love you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
So it's what's referred to as a radio harness. This is the main harness that's in the whole console assembly here. And looks like it's available in Quebec. I don't know the price or anything on it. Kelly's sorting that stuff out. So, magically, because I just basically found that thing the other day and walked out on Friday. 120 ohms. How about that? She's just floating. The dash and stuff's not connected, so one of the terminating resistors is gone. So that's what you should see is 120. When both, the ECM and the cluster are plugged in, you should see 60 ohms. And that's it. All that hunting and searching. And, yeah. A rubbed harness. Who'd have thunk it? Yeah. Some people are saying you can give that thing an air bath. Yeah, she's gonna get a bath, all right. I'm not putting it back together like that. Not with all that grunge in there. Get everything together. I don't want to, with ECM couplers and stuff out in the open. You just get it back together, and it'll look like this when everything's together. And I just won't plug in the fairing, and all I gotta do is seal off these two couplers. That's what connects the rest of the bike to that harness that went back there. Of course, it's CAN bus, and that's why it's affected, but it's all linked together. That was one of the tests, was the radio. And when I probed the CAN bus lines at that radio connection, it's still and one of the things is just disconnect it. Anything that feeds directly from the CAN bus. And it made no difference. Still 1.6 ohms. She's sitting it's at 119.8, so it's 120 ohms at the diagnostic port. That's the main place you check it. Unless you're having a problem, then you check everything else. And the only reason I was taking all this stuff off is so I could I mean, technically I could have lifted that thing, but it's so dirty at some point that it has to be cleaned. But the yaw rate sensor, that was one of the CAN bus lines. And then the, the coupler for that DPS, yeah, not in a good spot. Even the VCM, the coupler for that was one of the tests too. Steering angle sensor, I can see that and unplug it. But I don't need to do any of that now. All that is just water under the bridge. But just thinking how this thing racked my febile little mind. But, you know, it seems hopeless at times, but you just keep plugging away. The answer's there somewhere. And then with the help from the dude from BRP, man, priceless. He goes, this is what I want you to do. Take your time, read the harness carefully, and one by one, disconnect the main feeds to the from the CAN bus. One of those somewhere. Well, he was right. Actually, if I would have tested it, which in hindsight would have saved me a lot of time, if I'd have disconnected the upper console from the couplers here, it would immediately have shown me. I wouldn't have known where it was, but that would have been an answer. But to get there, I was going to unplug it anyway, so one way or the other, I'm glad when I pulled that thing away from the frame, you could see all them. As soon as I bowed that thing down, and it didn't burn anything on the frame, but it was touching enough. And yeah, that's all it took to wig it out. And he says he's had it for a couple years, I think, and it's had the shifting problem since day one. And that's why he had me take all the stuff off of it. And I remember the shift codes. In fact, that last time he was in here, that was the only buds file I had to go by. And because I can't run another one because the CAN bus is down, I can't connect to it. But I'll be able to now. So anyway, like he said, it was just an intermittent thing, and it just wore enough that it was just making better contact. Probably a good thing it's CAN bus stuff, because not a lot of high voltage going through any of that stuff. So yeah, they can short. And the worst, what's amazing is it didn't zap an ECM fuse or something, but it's just looking at CAN bus, which is just a 5-volt communication, high and low lines. Anyway, yes, this is back. So the gentleman took it, and everything was great. Stopped, filled it up with gas, and now it's leaking. It's not spraying like it was, but it's leaking. So he just took his little screwdriver he has back there and zapped 3 of these screws off and let it run. And yeah, I don't know if the housing of the pump is cracked or what. He goes, but it doesn't have to be running. Just put it on the side stand, and the volume of, because you can fill it up to the bottom, the snout, which puts it higher than the pump. He says as soon as he filled it up with gas, it just weeps. So it's not spraying while running like it was. So we did fix that. And he's very happy. He rode it around for a while and decided to top it off with gas. And it just weeped all over his garage. So I don't know if the seal, it was so wet, but again, no spraying like he showed me videos and stuff of before. And I said, do you still have the video? He's really hard to speak to. He's very Latino, and he's friends with Mexican police and Border Patrol and special security guys. He showed me all kinds of cool pictures. He goes, this is my friend. So that's way cool. And that's why he wanted to get he found this thing, a police bike, an ex-police bike, and was very happy about that. But I said, well, the one video I seen it was spraying, that was before we put the recall pump in it. So I had to dig way back in his camera roll, came across it, and I go, yeah, you definitely need the recall. And you can see it didn't even have the ring around there, which was one of the steps trying to prevent it from doing what it was doing. So I said, oh, okay. And that was before the pump was put in. And this last time he came in, which I talked to you guys about, it was leaking from that hose. And now it's just leaking, like the gas is leaking. So I'm thinking something's compromised with the either the pump itself or the seal. It's a special tool that you use. But I got to take this plastic back off to do that. So I'm going to do that next. So really happy about the solution with this. And we're back doing a figure out thing here now. Really nice guy. I love it when guys are just totally cool. He goes, you just let me know when it's done. I go, well, if we have to order parts, it could take up to a week. He go, oh, whatever. I don't think he's riding it this time of year anyway, so let's dive in. So I finally found it. I did find one thing. This is part of the EVAP system on it. This hose, as soon as I jiggled on it, all of a sudden it came like really unusually free. Look at the rust in it. So it's part of a formed hose. I got part of the form in there, but I did this so that it can't bend on him, so it'll stay straight. The little coverings, because it's going across a couple of Oetiker clamps, but that's neither here nor there. So what he was telling me, if I didn't mention earlier, that everything was fine. He drove around, didn't leak. He was very, very happy. Stops, puts a couple of gallons of gas in it, and now it's dripping even without it running. So, I did this. I took everything apart, even pulled the pump out, and just cleaned everything up, just making sure it wasn't weeping out of the seal or something weird like that. And the way that thing tees, it would leak from outside before it would leak inside here. So, I put the gas back in, because you got to have the gas lower than the pump to take the pump out. So I put the gas in, about to start it, and I'm like, oh man. I look, and the gas is pooling up around the pressure regulator. And I'm going, what is going on? So I get the thing back on the center stand. It's just leaking because the gas is high enough. It's even leaking on the center stand. So I pull the gas back out of it, clean everything up, get it dry, and I fill it with gas and just watch. And I don't know if I can make this even show up, but there is like this weird little stress crack in that thing. Did it help to turn the light on? It's almost impossible to see, but it's in the pump housing. And this, is a new pump, part of the recall thing. Not related to this nozzle, but that's where it's coming from. Now, with the Oetiker clamp the other day, I fixed that. It wasn't, spraying anymore. So I was surprised to see this thing up there today, and he wanted to talk to me. Really super nice guy. But it's gonna need a new pump. But the problem is, BMW can be really weird once a recall is done, because the bike's so old. It's hopelessly out of warranty. It's even beyond any goodwill stuff they'll even do. So I need to find out if there's something. I got to pull the pump back out. Find out, is there something that was done when the pump was replaced? All right. Look, internal business stuff blasting across the airways as I'm recording here. But anyway, I need to pull the pump back out. The gas is down low again here. And see if I can figure out what it is. And I can, just put the pump back in and tighten it down, until we get a new pump. It's going to need a new pump anyway. We're curious if it could have been done, because there's like a Oetiker clamp for the hose on the inside. So, did somebody get a little rough when they're putting it on the inside? But the crack is almost like a frowny face. it seemed like if somebody got pressure on this nipple, it would be a smiley face. That's just my thinking. But what do I know? Absolutely found it. See if I can get in here tight enough. You can actually see the crack. See that right there? That is the post for holding the regulator right there. See how it lines up? It's got a crack in it. If I can get it to focus on that, I can blow air through there. There's a little fuel in that hole, and I blow from the outside in, and just spit the fuel out of it. Needs a new pump. Well, hello there, YouTube. Man, those last two clips, well, probably the last clip didn't make a lot of sense because of where I ended and started that one. There was a clip in between there, the old classic talking to dead air, because obviously I didn't hit the record button. Man, I'm terrible at looking at the status of my camera as I'm going along. So obviously it wasn't recording. But I looked at that outside of that pump before I popped it off and was looking at it with a jeweler's loop. And what I thought was a crack, because that's where the sweat of the wet gas coming out. It's funny how that can move and look like it's coming from a different area. But it was actually some casting or whatever of the pump. There's no crack there. And that's when I pulled it off and I found that stud that, where the screw goes in for the pressure regulator thing. Anyway, sorry about that. Missed a clip.
Whoops.
I'm looking at that thing and I play it back. I go, that's going to be very confusing because I'm talking about the cracks I see in the pump. I need to pull it off so I can look at that. And then all of a sudden I'm talking about the little stud thing in there.
Are you trying to confuse people?
I was confusing myself for a second there. I'm going, am I missing something? I'm missing something. It jumps. No, wasn't missing anything because the next clip was, how they're numbered. It was consecutive. I just didn't hit that record button or didn't hit it hard enough or something. But
Let's see.
those kind of things happen.
They do.
It was the other day, the random thing we went to Chehalis. I had like 3 or 4 clips with no audio.
Yeah.
We are moving over there, yeah. It's the other thing, you got a little sound bar that shows you what's going on. First world problems.
I know it. Pitiful.
But they can sure mess you up, though.
Yeah, they can.
You're like, dang, now what? Anyway, it's 30 degrees out here. It snowed on us on the way home.
Yeah, it's cold.
And that first snow you get, and man, we're like 55 and 60 miles an hour. We get home, we're going, how did it take us so long? We're going really slow. Everybody's going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think everybody has temperature things on their car. It's like 37, 38, but didn't matter. It was still pouring down snow.
It was.
But it's 30 out here now. And nothing but this little flannel on top of a little base liner.
You're crazy.
Yeah, it's cold.
I'm bundled and I'm cold.
All right, let's roll.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give her a thumbs up. And you guys have a wonderful Tuesday or Wednesday.
Heck yeah. I'm going to start shaking this camera here in a second.
I know.
It's cold. That's a big shocker coming out here. I didn't realize it was going to feel as cold as what the numbers were saying.
Yeah, it is cold.
All right. See you guys tomorrow.
See you then.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye.